Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Leader's Edge, Season 4, Episode 3. We have a wonderful speaker tonight, and let me just give a little background on her. She is the president of the MC Display and Metalcraft Corporation. She's the vice president of the Technical Art Design Build. She is a member of the Bulacan Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And in Toastmasters, she is a very well-known personality. The very first Asian Lady International Director who served twice on the Board of Directors. The past District 75 Governor who made the district number 2 in the world. She is currently involved in District 75 as a speaker, an advisor, and as a committee chair. Serving Toastmasters International in different committees. She's also an outstanding club president of the Inner Wheel Club of May Kawayan, past club director of the Soroptomies Club of May Kawayan. And she is an avid tennis player and a past president of the May Kawayan Tennis Club. She's a very, very good friend of mine, somebody I adore, I admire, and who motivates me in everything I do. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present our speaker today, the perfect Cat's Purr distinguished Toastmaster, George Temblique.
Thank you very much, Mike, for that introduction. That was indeed very flattering. And today I will be sharing my leadership journey, its rewards, and the things that have made me succeed as a leader. Good evening, everyone. Have you experienced being asked, are leaders born or made? And I will answer definitely both. We have to be born on this earth, equipped with our inborn potentials like talent, physique, skill, and many others. Then we get nurtured by our personal environment, like family, education, work, and others. Then we get polished by time and experience. I come from May Kawayan, Bulacan, which is known for jewelry making. Gold and diamonds abound. But diamonds, when found in rocks, are not attractive. They're bland, they're dirty, but after constant grinding, polished repeatedly, and cut with multiple facets, its brilliance appears. And so everybody clamors for diamonds. And it is the same for people as leaders. We have our latent talents, we undergo varied trainings, and we are honed by experience. What comes out is a diamond of a person, a leader. Talking of personality, we get curious what type of personality we have. Sometimes you get asked, are you an extrovert or an introvert? And I am an introvert after answering all those questions. I was active in school when I was young. And I believe that whether you are an extrovert or an introvert, you have the capacity to become your own kind of leader because your leadership style follows the kind of person that you are. In the same way, sometimes when I am asked to coach a speaker, I will say, do not imitate the person that you probably admire or idolize. You have your own style, enhance it, your own delivery, and enable yourself to stand out based on how you are and what you have. I was an only child, and I was expected to succeed my father in our business. And I did eventually. But for a time, I rebelled. After graduation, I applied in a multinational corporation as a management trainee, got accepted, and then got my MBA degree, to the ire of my father, because he wanted me to immediately immerse myself in the business. But that indeed was fulfilling and an eye-opener for me. Why? Around me, employees, even my bosses, were wanting to have a business of their own. And they cannot imagine why I am there working 8 to 5 instead of working in our own business. But of course, eventually I joined my father. I took the business because my father also had a stroke. Immersing myself in the business, I wanted something to be an extracurricular activity for me. I joined organizations and I joined Toastmasters. Among the many organizations that I joined, I enjoyed Toastmasters a lot. It was very rewarding for my personal growth. And even if I have other organizations, what I learned in Toastmasters have helped me apply in other organizations. Christine, you have to learn everything. You have to be independent because you have no siblings and we cannot be here forever for you. And so what he said was, to succeed, plan your work and work your plan. And that indeed was ingrained in me. My mother, on the other hand, was a famous dressmaker because at the time, customized dresses are the in thing, unlike now. And she had tirelessly taught me how to sew a dress. But it is not really my cup of tea. So I couldn't cut even a cloth straight. One time, she said, Christine, when you are cutting a cloth, do not look at where the scissor is going. Look at the end and you will be able to do it. And I did. It happened. It may be simplistic, but those guiding principles have molded me into being a goal-oriented person, a planner, and an implementer. When I took over the business, I realized that this is a form of leadership, but given with authority because I'm the boss and the owner of the business. It was automatic. But the challenge here is there are multiple tiers of leadership relationship that I must adapt to. First, dealing with factory workers entail a different psychology of motivation for loyalty, efficiency, and quality of work. I have almost 200 workers. And being a medium-scale corporation, I still have to deal with the workers sometimes. Since we are dealing with international clients, there are different standards and expectations that are expected from our workers. Second, my relationship with the staff requires another level of professional and social interactions. As I have a mix of employees, millennials with, of course, a different mindset, and people who have been with me for 20, 30 years. So the mix is also a challenge. And lastly, our clientele, especially now, are more of the global companies. And a lot are expected from us in terms of workplace, environment, production, quality, and many others. We have to undergo international evaluations and documentations, and it requires a lot from us. But I was able to adapt to this multiple tier of leadership relationship and make a success out of it. Outside of our business, I decided to pursue leadership in Toastmasters, choosing it among the other groups.
That's right.
And I did not have any regret in that. In fact, I think it was one of the most righteous decisions that I have made in my life. As I have mentioned earlier, I like simple things, but I am a determined and goal-oriented person when I put my mind into something. I like to see results. That's why my leadership Purr is a calm and happy leadership. Leading people should be a happy thing to do, and it is something that can make you be fulfilled as a leader. I observe, I ask, and work with people who have the same work ethics, tempo, and efficiency as myself. Although leading in a voluntary organization like Toastmasters International, it made me realize that unlike work, there will be more challenges in terms of people that you will lead, the fellow leaders. There will be various characters that you will encounter. Even with unelected position, all of us, the members and the leaders around us, are all voluntary persons. Unlike in the business, authority here must be converted to influence and motivation. And so I have my own style of leadership. But I just found out at one time when I was reading the book Jesus CEO, the three strengths that I have applied unknowingly in my journey as a leader. First, the strength of mastery. It is very important to learn from excellent and goal-oriented leaders. They're the ones who can influence your drive and learning. While knowledge can be available by reading, there are many things that cannot be read but can only be learned and experienced. And they become part of you. You balance them for mastery. Of course, Mike mentioned that I am an avid player. I used to be a competitive tennis player and like learning how to play tennis. My trainer will tell me how to hold the racket, hit the ball, and beat your opponent. But until you step on the court, hit the ball yourself, learn how to play with different opponents, then you cannot become an excellent and successful tennis player. You cannot win if you will not practice and step on the court and play repeatedly. It is by doing that we learn the most. And it is not different from leadership. We have to step ourselves into leadership for us to be able to become a successful leader and to learn the art of leadership. I started as a president of a Toastmasters club, an area governor, a district governor, and then proceeded to become one of the top 3 positions in District 75, which is the entire Philippines. And at every position, there are different experiences that adds to your learning as a leader. It is knowing what you want to achieve that enables you to take the steps towards it. From being a president, you deal with few individuals. As you go up the ladder, you deal with more people. You aim for more goals and objectives. The group can only be as good as its leader. And I have repeatedly witnessed this in my many years of leadership. Say, for example, an almost dying club can be re-energized by a dynamic leader who is committed to serve the members. I can cite you one example. When I was a district governor, there was this club with almost 5, 6 members remaining, a dying club at that. But I had to persuade a very potential and gifted leader. Though it take a while, she took over and reinvigorated the club. Now, 20 years hence, the club is one of the pillars of Toastmasters District 75. A mediocre club can rise to become distinguished if motivated by its leaders to achieve. It only takes someone to inspire and motivate the members. And a dynamic club will continue to be excellent if it sees excellence as a standard of its leaders. The strength of mastery is an asset that brings about knowledge, experience, commitment, and grit to achieve and sustain. We build on our strength and our skill at every stage we undertake. While a leader, I make it a point to equip myself with the knowledge of the organization and what it can bring to our members. In the same way as in the business, we must have a foresight, a vision of what we want to achieve in our business as well. And in the same way with leading a group. Surprisingly, I was able to motivate, maybe with a sincere intention of leading and caring for the welfare of the members, things will fall in its place. I was also blessed to have mentors from my predecessors who became good friends in the journey of becoming a district leader. Now we go to the second strength, the strength of action. The words of my father resonated in me whenever I pursue a goal. Plan without action amounts to nothing. And you'll agree with me. We can always dream, but if we do not act and work on our dream, a dream will remain what it is, an unfulfilled dream. When you succeed excellent leaders, your goals become lofty. And I had excellent leaders before me. So excitement, passion, and idealism pervaded me as a leader at the start of my term. I started my term as a lieutenant governor for marketing. But honestly, it was not with full awareness that I became and I rose to the top. Because I was voluntold, as they fondly call it. I guess I was doing my job as a president, as an area governor, division governor, and they always think that I would like to go up some more. And I think that's behind the saying that when you want something done, ask a busy person. So they thought I really wanted it. But when I take over a responsibility, then I will make it a point to manage your expectation. And Mike, I think, was a witness to it. I didn't know what I was getting into when I was elected as Lieutenant Governor for marketing. But that was it. It's another story.
Another episode.
Another episode. Yes. Then I would like to maybe narrate a simple, short story, a simple story that I find very rewarding when I was a district governor. You see, we have this program in the legacy program, as they call, because we have now pathways in District 75. At that time, we have the first norm of being competent Toastmaster, CTM, as they call. And we have to finish 10 speeches from speech 1 to speech 10, which is the graduation speech for competent Toastmaster. And many times over in my leadership, I have always seen the growth of every member when they have finished this competent Toastmaster. They will start with speech 1 as a nervous and tentative speaker, but at speech number 10, they become confident and fulfilled speaker. It was definitely something that you would like to see in your members. And so what I did, I looked over the list of those who are nearly competent Toastmaster. I prepared a generic letter, but I put a personal touch by writing their names, 1 or 2 motivational sentences, and then my signature. And then I sent it by postal mail at the time. Not email was not very popular yet. In fact, we get our informations in thick binders. Mike, did you get that?
Yes, I did experience that.
Yes. So you have to read from those folders, the thick folders containing all the things, your duties and responsibilities. But the beauty of this is I sent those mails, those letters, and while I was going around the Philippines, because I travel with other officers in the different parts of the country, and that was indeed very rewarding. I love traveling, of course. But then I get people coming to me and saying, thank you for inspiring us. It really made us a confident speaker, a confident communicator, and not only 1, 2, or 10. And I think if you are able to touch their lives and make them a better communicator, then that's something that's rewarding and fulfilling for an officer. With genuine intention and action, I believe a leader can become inspirational. A simple action can generate a ripple effect. And so we go to the last, the strength of relationship, which I think is very important and lasting. The principle of service or servant leadership is what separates the true leaders from the glory seekers. This is where relationship becomes a catalyst for fellow leaders. I believe that if one establishes a genuine relationship where one can see you as a sincere and profound person, then your goal becomes their goal. My favorite definition of leadership is making others do what you want done because they want to do it. The sprinkler phenomenon of leadership is achieved. So there's a truism in the saying, no man is an island, because no success can be done or achieved by you alone. And successful leaders will attest to this. That is also the reason for the word team. Together, everyone achieves more. So when I was a district governor, I had 9 division governors who are my bridge to the area governors, who in turn are the connecting links to the clubs. Because I, as the district governor, of course, cannot get in touch with the thousands of members. So they are my bridge connectors to the members. I maintain constant communication with all of them. And try also with other clubs. And I just realized that I got closer to them and we were able to achieve our goal of becoming a President's Distinguished District because all of us were together in wanting it and achieving it. It was the common desire to serve the district and our members. It is the value of relationship that enhances the bond among the leaders and its members. So in summary, I think the strength of mastery establishes the foundation of you as a leader to gain confidence and respect. The strength of action brings fruition to the plans you have prepared with your fellow leaders. And finally, the strength of relationship seals the commonality of the goals among all the officers and members of the group. With all of them, one succeeds as a leader and get remembered as a respected person. When you become a leader, the greatest gift is to be able to leave a legacy. And I believe that as a leader, my greatest legacy was touching people's lives by gifting them with competence and confidence. Thank you.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, wow, there you go. You have our Christine Abad Temblique with the perfect presentation. You know, I really love this presentation because, first of all, Christine mentioned I was there when she was elected as Lieutenant Governor for Marketing. And that's when I met her. Don't ask us the year anymore, but that's like
Yes.
several decades ago. Several decades ago. Both of us are baby face, but we've known each other for wow, almost
Yes.
one or two generations, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah, it's like that. It's been
Flies
that
fast. Huh?
long. Yeah, very fast, very fast. And to be honest, Christine is one of the reasons why we accept the role of being when we're voluntold, right?
Voluntold, yes.
Christine is one of the people who voluntold me to go up to become district governor as well.
Guilty.
She's one of the culprits,
Yes, guilty.
the main culprit. Christy, I just have a few, I've known you for so long. I just have a few trivia questions. I am aware that you play very mean tennis. I've never had the opportunity to watch you play though. I just hear your stories and anecdotes. Do any of your children play?
Yes, all of them know how to play tennis.
So they
But
were also
Mark,
voluntold.
well, I forced them because I was playing tennis, so I have to drag them. Mark is a
Ah,
member of the varsity tennis club
oh, I
in
see.
Ateneo.
Okay, okay.
Until now, at least the alumni is
Oh,
a
I
member.
see.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think if you are a role model and the passion shows, right? Everybody around you gets involved as well. And it's true also in Toastmasters. And in your presentation, you were talking about mastery. When you talk about mastery, it's really like a pursuit of excellence, right? Pursuit of
Yes.
excellence. You're always trying to be better than what you are today, tomorrow. And I just am struck by the your presentation. It's very true that in Toastmasters, you become a good leader because you're working with volunteers. And that's a totally different animal in the corporate world. You
Yes.
learn all the. Can you share maybe one or two stories? Just a short anecdote of, it's a Toastmasters when you're a district officer, you're leading a nationwide group,
Mhm.
and logistically, we are a difficult group to handle, especially in the non-email time, right? In the era of
Yes.
no emails.
Yes.
How do you motivate the other people working with you, even if you don't see them often, right? Can you illustrate maybe one or two examples on that?
I think, I believe in sincerity and profoundness of your intention. Whenever you lead, whenever you want something from people, I don't believe in being selfish. And I think that's a good karma for me. Every time I try to connect with others, even if I do not see them, when I meet them at the time I was traveling, so I meet them maybe once, twice a year, or three times a year. But I am able to impact on them, to create an impact in their minds that I have this sincere intention for them to be a better person, to be a better leader, and we have to work together in order to achieve this goal. And I think that's my motto actually. What you sow, you get what you reap. Because when I plant something, I plant goodness and I would gather goodness as well. And I think that's the reason why relationship is very important, because up to now, the friends that I have gained before are still my good friends today. You're
Yeah,
one of them.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Much honored. When you say uh, the sincerity shows, and I truly agree, and your sincerity in the when I I've been a witness to this, it's really a calm sincerity. The passion is not fiery. You're not a bombastic leader, right? You're not like a rah 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 type of leader. You're a very calm presence. But when you are in the room, you command that presence. But again, with so many types of people in our organization, both in the corporate world and in the Toastmasters volunteer world, it takes different strokes for different folks, right?
Agree.
And
Yes.
yeah, the motivation factor is different also for different people. And when you shared the story earlier about somebody where a club was about to die, and you were able to find that person who took over and challenged and motivated that person. Uh, what can you elaborate and tell us what's the motivating factor? What did you share with that person specifically so
Yeah.
that he saw the end of the cloth, right, rather than where the scissors are?
Yes. Yes. Well, this person, I think, I saw the potential in this lady. And I know that it will take a difficult several times to talk to him, convince her that it is positive, it is a positive move for her to accept the presidency and revive a dying club. I was in that situation before. I took over our club when it was, experiencing some difficulty, and they suddenly pointed out to me, Christine, you have to do this. And so that's the same technique that I used with that lady president. I actually just talked to her several times. I did not take it in one sitting because
Mm,
I know that I do not like hard selling.
yeah.
I will just point out to her the what will happen if you take over this presidency. What will it do to yourself, to your self-esteem, to your development, to your growth? It is something that should be intrinsic in her. And then I let go, because whenever I try to convince someone, I put a limit to where I can go. If you really want, then you will find my reason very positive and reasonable. But if it's not really in you, intrinsic in you, then you will say no, and I will not go any further. I can only go so far, but I will leave it up to you, because at the end of the day, it's you who will benefit, not me.
Hmm.
And I'm only a tool for that development.
I'm trying
And
to
so,
remember if that was true in my case. No, yes, that is who you are. Your soft sell is
yes,
actually a hard sell in disguise. You you cut into that piece of stone little by little, day by day. But I guess it really depends on how you work with people, right?
yes,
And when you see the challenges or the walls that are put up, you know how to work on them so that they will give in from within. I
yes,
think
from
that's
within.
that from within, not push from you, right? That's how you do things, yeah, and that's true. Um, your Toastmasters journey is far from over.
Yes.
It's far from over. You're still very active. You're still very active as an advisor, even as a member of multiple clubs, if I'm not mistaken, in
Yeah.
the district, and even internationally. You're still an advisor and consultant in so many ways, right?
Yeah,
So
I am a member of the different committees, the Disciplinary Committee, International Leadership Committee, and lately the Policy Review Committee.
we, some of us have been we have a past district governor who became a district governor twice, right?
Yes,
Miss
yes,
Joyo. If, this is a hypothetical question. If, let's say, in the future, an opportunity comes up for you to run again as the in one of the top 3 positions of the district, would you or not take it?
It depends on the situation. If the circumstances really call for it and there's no other way, there's no other person, I will take it. Why not?
Yeah.
The organization needs it.
Okay, so I asked that it's hypothetically and theoretically in to draw out the situation if the people want you to run, right? If the organization needs you, then us leaders sometimes have no choice. But we don't need to be voluntold, but sometimes we need to come and take the mantle of leadership, yeah, because that's part and parcel of who we are now.
Yes.
I guess that's what being motivated perpetually, right?
Yes.
When we're motivated perpetually in what we're doing, in the passion of what we are and who we are. Okay. So I think this is a great presentation. I believe that you have more stories to tell us, and I don't know if we'll be able to schedule you for more talks. In fact, I would love to see you talk a little bit about your international exposure, because you've been an international director twice.
Yes.
No?
In different generation. That's after
in different generations.
Yeah, different generation. Not really generation, decade.
Yeah,
It's
different decades.
Different. So I saw a different Toastmasters with in 2001 to 2003, and another kind of Toastmasters International in 2011 to 2012. A decade makes a lot of difference, and that was indeed great learning for me.
Yeah. Does that cat behind you have a name, or it's a generic cat? Do you actually own a cat, Christine?
I have here a cat, but it's not mine. It's borrowed. The name
borrowed.
is
Ruth?
Zeus.
Zeus. Oh, yes. Okay.
They call it a Scottish Brite or something. I don't know. It was brought here. It was, we seem to be a weekend hotel for this cat.
Ah, okay. That's a very interesting trivia about you, no?
Yeah, but the cat stands for Christine A. Temblique.
Yes, that's what Christine is known for in the Toastmasters role, and perhaps among her friends, that is Christine Abad Temblique. And I can really attest to the fact that the people around Christine are very loyal to her. Why? Because we've seen firsthand how she motivates and inspires us. And more importantly, the sincerity of her leadership shows. What she wants to do, what she wants to accomplish is pure heart. And we all take action with her because we believe in what she is doing. That's a very true testament. No? I don't think many of us people, Toastmasters, after your district governorship who excelled would deny that you had an influence in us. Now, me, maybe Gina, right? We were all influenced by you. I do have one very, very sensitive question.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to honest with sincerity. And remember, I'm the host now. Okay, so your answer better be right. You had nine division governors during your district governorship. Please tell us, who was your favorite division governor? They're not listening. The other 8.
The other 8 are listening. Well, of course, my favorite. This division governor was my outstanding the division governor of the year.
Yeah. Just for the audience, if you don't know who one of her, she had 2. She had 2 division governors of the year. I'm one of them. Okay, so just for the record. Well, Christine, this was a fun interview. I really enjoyed it. I'm sure the audience loved it. And I will not doubt that some people will probably ask you to come back and share more. Do you have
Oh,
any final words or message that you want to share to the audience about leadership, about your passion, about your passion? Go ahead.
well, I have a simple story that I would like to end this session with. And that was the time when you were part of it. We were preparing for our district convention. And then suddenly
Ah,
there was this incident of, it was the beeper yet at that time. I think it was going against one of the contests that we were preparing. And so
yeah.
things have been said, negative things had been mentioned. But, and I remember my committee chairs, including you were calling me at 11 o'clock in the evening, and you were all agitated because of these negative comments that's been roaming around. But I told you, because I like and a calm leadership
Yeah.
Purr, which is a calm and happy leadership. Just relax and stay put. Do not react, do not do anything, because things will be, you know, will be more enlightened in the morning. Sleep over it and let's not react. And the next morning, we saw the different clubs supporting us and negating all those things that have been said against us. And it worked without us being agitated. We were not really silent, but people were supporting us, and that answered the question and silenced that particular objection. So I think that's one of my leadership prayer. And whenever you are a leader who try to look over holistically the things around you and relate with people with sincerity, then your leadership will always be a successful journey for you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I do remember that. Yeah, I think a lot of people around you were panicking and agitated, right? So this is really a great sharing from you. Maybe just a final question, just to reflect a little bit more for the audience, is how, as a leader, what do you think among all the things you've shared with us? What would be your greatest trait that stands out as a leader?
I think my greatest trait is being a simple but determined and goal-oriented person. I always like things simple. I do not like the deal with, flamboyant things. I
Mm.
like it simple, elegant, but very determined and goal-oriented always, because I believe in getting your objectives done. It is
Wow.
important because the journey may be the satisfying path that you take, but always the result will be the culmination of your objectives and goal.
You know, I could actually feel the audience thinking how to be you po. That's the kind of messaging that I'm getting, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, we had a great talk, great session today. Christine, thank you very much. And we hope to see you again in the future seasons, future episode, if there is a
Or
chance. Yes, maybe on a relevant and maybe another topic that is
yeah,
about leadership or anything that you would like to share. Maybe something about tennis, how it ties up into
yes,
how
I have
tennis
lots of
can
I have
be
lots of
stories,
stories
right?
about tennis. Yes.
Wow, yeah. Okay, maybe one whole season for that. I'll call out to Leader's Edge. One whole season for tennis lessons from Christine.
Yes.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Please, if you enjoyed the episode and you'll want to enjoy the future episodes, subscribe, like, click on that button right now. And you will see also in our next episode here, you're going to have Dino hosting the episode of Douglas Cougar talking about debunking money myths and mastering wealth. So, ladies and gentlemen, wow, we have full packed full-packed episodes for season 4, really. And I hope you enjoyed the new cinematics for season 4. They're very, very digital and very modern. So, learning is a never-ending journey with limitless vistas. Good evening. Thank you very much, Christine.
Thank you too for the opportunity.